Hello there, everyone. My name is Chad Nash. I'm a senior health science major here at Furman University. I'm sorry I can't be with you there in person today, as I have an athlete at the school and we have a tennis match today, so unfortunately I have to do it virtually. And I'm here to talk about my internship experience over last summer of 2022. During this time, I worked with CVS Health and the corporate side of things. More specifically, I worked with account management. And throughout the summer, I was tasked with multiple projects in different aspects of account management. Number one being how it's kind of a little bit of a story, but essentially how it works is within CVS, every calendar year, new clients, which are big time corporations in healthcare, i.e., like Lucent Health, Alliant Health, Allied Benefits, they all have what we call my PBM, which is my prescription based management. And essentially, what happens is every single year, my PBM has different standards with pricing or with certain wording for those department specific clients and cases. And so my job is I had to analyze all of the clients in different corporations, and then within those corporations they all had individual cases. And so I had a giant Excel spreadsheet that it was a lot, to say the least, and my job was to track these cases every day and to make sure there wasn't any miscues with wording based on the new standards, or if there were upcoming dates that needed to be met. And the way they were met was each one of these corporations was assigned an account manager. And so it was my job to communicate to that specific account manager saying, hey, these standards are different. You need to improve on these. And also the date is coming up soon in like a week or so you should get on that. So that was really project one that stayed throughout the whole summer, really. After about a week or two, it got pretty repetitive and very smooth after that for me. My next project is what we call the Bench Initiative Project. And essentially every year, CVS hires new account managers, like I just mentioned, to track a certain client. And they're assigned usually 2 to 3 corporations/clients every year. But throughout their process, learning the new systems that come with the job, the whole software, everything being online, they had a giant spreadsheet with questions saying what you think their strengths are, what you think their weaknesses are. And what I was assigned to do was look at all of their responses and then try and assess trends that I saw so that we could better help the future account managers for the next upcoming years. And, a lot of them was software related. Like, I don't really understand the system, this website, how to get to a certain area. And so after I found those trends, it was my job to tell my boss, like, hey, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I feel like we should improve on. And then she would forward that information on to better help everything else. My final project, which was probably my most taxing project, it was towards the end of my time with CVS. It was to help with welcome season. And so welcome season is a giant, it's like a day or a week around August time where all the new recently hired account managers, past account managers, and current account managers are all on a Zoom call, and they pretty much go over what's expected. It's kind of like an orientation for college, except for account management. And so I had to create a presentation highlighting the do's and don'ts of an account manager, what you're looking for, what you should do, where you should go if you need help, all that kind of good stuff. And then I had to present it to everyone. Not the whole presentation. I was assigned like a couple slides, but I was on the board to sort of express what is expected of these newly hired account managers. And this was an experience, to say the least. I never really spoke in a crowd over like 30 to 40 people, and there was about 1,000 on the Zoom call. So communication was of the utmost importance in that scenario, which kind of leads me into what I learned from this internship. It taught me a bunch of stuff, technology wise. I learned so much about Excel and how to better organize a giant data set like that, because I was tracking over I think it was like 200 to 300 clients. And within those clients, there was about like 10 cases, 10 to anywhere from 10 to like 40. So it was a lot of information that I had to track on a daily basis. So I learned a lot about that. More particularly, I learned a lot about communication. And what I mean by that is the people that I was working with were all very old, very much older than me, and they really spoke thoroughly and eloquently, and it kind of made me realize how much I need to improve on communication at a professional level. And I feel like towards the end, I was doing a great job of that, really speaking efficiently, just really getting to the point, what we need, and so on. I sat in on a bunch of meetings and learned how they communicate back and forth, and I kind of picked up on some cues, like what I should look for if I'm in a position of where I'm talking to my boss, or if I am the boss one day, how do I handle organizing a team and what they should do. And I think that was pretty eye-opening for sure. Finally, I really learned a lot about the behind the scenes of a healthcare organization, because when people think of healthcare, a lot of times they think of doctors and, surgeries and all that good stuff. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes with insurance and a lot of math, a lot of calculating, profits and all that. So to see the overall scheme of that was very, very cool to see for me. And the reason I say that is because next year I'm going to be pursuing a Master's of Healthcare Administration at University of Kentucky. So it was really beneficial for me to see this side of healthcare, and it kind of reassured me that this is something I want to do. This is something I feel like I'm going to be good at. Hopefully running my own practice one day, like hopefully opening a physical therapy practice and running it and understanding what we need and what we don't need and what's of importance as opposed to other stuff. So that's really mainly what happened. Not much happened. It was a lot of grunt work essentially, but finally, the thing that is going to help me moving on from this internship and into my master's program is mainly just the fact of my confidence understanding a certain topic, because the business side of healthcare is not really taught in school. It's kind of mentioned, but it's not really taught in detail. And I feel like now I've gotten a decent head start into what I'm going to be learning about here in a couple months after this next upcoming summer. So I really benefited not only as a personal level and how I handle certain situations, but kind of just my knowledge on the subject. And I have nothing but thanks for the whole CVS department. They treated me so well for 9 weeks or 10 weeks. And, Chesley Ewell and all the people over there, they did a great job. And, as an intern going in, I was very nervous. And I left there as if I was like a son to these people. So I thought that was very cool. And, you never know if you're going to need a potential job opportunity someday. So I think that was another beneficial reason that I did the internship in the first place and what I learned from them overall. So that's really it. That's all I have for you. Thank you to Furman for helping me get this internship, and I hope you guys learned something. Appreciate it. Have a good day.